another Wheel of Time video, another Wheel of Time costume video. But this is the final one. This is the last of the recorded video from our conversations that Pez, costume expert Pez, and bestselling author Bree. This is the last of the videos that we have recorded. We probably will do this again when, we have more costumes to look at. But this is the final one. This is actually, today's video is the follow-up to last week's video where Pez outlined how she began the murderboarding of the Aes Sedai. And I really do recommend watching that one first if you haven't, because in that video, she went over all of the details of how she was making the connections between the Aes Sedai and how she was finding out where they came from. This video, we literally just jump into it. This video is like where we get into the murderboarding, but it won't really make sense if you haven't seen the last one. So I really do recommend watching that video first. But yeah, I guess with that, I always almost forget to give a spoiler warning. Spoiler warning, obviously the entire first season of the Wheel of Time TV show. And as far as books, we just casually dropped a spoiler from the final book. So, if you have not finished the entire book series of the Wheel of Time, I don't recommend this video for you. But if you have, we are good. No, again, I have to give a warning about my sound. This is the same recording as before, so I screwed up my sound recording. Everybody else was fine. I fixed it as much as I can, but I do sound like I'm on like a 1920s radio. I can't fix it anymore. I don't know enough about sound editing to fix it anymore. So just know that going in, and apologies in advance. And I guess, without further ado, let's just get to the murderboarding.
Let's be nerdy, bitch. Let's be nerdy, let's be nerdy. Let's be nerdy, bitch. Let's be nerdy, bitch. Let's be nerdy, let's be nerdy, bitch.
What about this Browns? There's the Browns. We've already got the middle lady.
Yes.
The other two were two of the things that I definitely noticed, which was that giant scoop neck and those big shoulders.
Yes.
So right hand is from Tyr and left hand is from Shinar.
Okay, well, let's start with Tyr first, because that one is clear to me.
Yeah.
We've got the tattoos, face tattoos.
Yes.
And,
Tattoos and Paisley.
And Paisley.
But then I started looking at the rest of her clothes, trying to see, okay, what else makes her be from Tyr? And so I started looking at the shape of the little cap sleeve on the outermost garment, and the shape of the neckline, but also the fact that she's got this center front closure for her shirt or shift or dress, whatever she's got going on there for her top piece that's the kind of white color.
Mm-hmm.
But it's folded open. And there is another sitter who also has it folded open. So that helped me put those two together. But then they've got this belt. They've got, we would call
You
it
see
like
behind me? I think she has it folded open too. I'm trying to move my head.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got the belt with a higher waistline. We might call it an empire waistline.
Mm-hmm.
It was popular in the late 1700s through early 1800s in our world. They've got a little bit of an ombre dye thing going on where it's like a warmer whitish tan fading into a darker brown, open skirt thing. And then jewelry, as well as the heavy fringe bang, I think, appeared on a couple of the tyrant sitters as well.
Okay.
So then I started looking for them, and I found them in the yellow and the white ajas.
Okay, so yellow. Yellow here. Oh,
on the left.
Yeah, there she is.
They've got the high belt. They've got the same neckline shape. They've got the folded open shirt, the shoulders, the
cap sleeves.
The cap sleeves, and then the paisley on her is super subtle, but it's her underskirt. It's a yellow on yellow. And
yes,
she also has a
it.
chest tattoo. Yeah, it's like really, really subtle, but it's there. And she's got the fringe bang as well.
Mm-hmm.
The heavy bangs.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, I've got tyrants.
Tyrants. Okay. So yellow, and you said there's one more?
In the white.
In the white. Wait, okay.
And she's going to be the one on the left. So
yes,
and
there she is. I immediately see her. Like when I open it, I'm like, oh, now I see it.
Yeah, and it's really hard to see the patterns on the whites because, they're
Yeah,
in
it's white.
white.
Yeah, but I
But
can
she's
see
got
it.
the paisley. Yeah.
I can totally see it. Cap sleeves. Oh, hers isn't folded open, but I can still see her neck tattoos.
Yes, and the face tattoos. And I got super excited when I started to actually work out, like, oh my gosh, this is actually a thing.
It totally is. It totally is. Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
The bangs
Ah!
especially is cool because I didn't notice that at all. So the one
No.
to the right must be Shinar again, right?
Yes, this
Yes.
center white is Shinar again. It's the shoulder and the stripes. I mean, it gives
Yes.
them away every time, but they've got a similar shape of belt. They've got similar layers of sleeves and necklines. And then actually we
She
can
is
do
gorgeous. I'm sorry. I'm
She
getting distracted.
is.
I'm getting
She's
distracted.
really, really gorgeous.
I
And
like
then,
her
Totally.
one earring too.
yes,
Yeah.
and it's really long.
Mhm.
So it's got that little hint of asymmetry, even though these Shinaran costumes are by and large very symmetrical.
Yes.
I think they had to find ways to play up the asymmetry with them just because they're based on, I'm pretty sure, Japanese dress, and Japanese dress is very symmetrical.
Right. Okay.
At least the stuff that they were borrowing from, not all Japanese
All
dress,
of it.
but
Yeah. So yeah, the shoulders, the earring, like
yeah.
the white. That's like a kimono.
Yeah, like an obi of some
Yeah.
sort.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's not the actual term, but something similar to that.
Mhm.
And then even the layers of the sleeves and the neckline all reminds me a lot of kimono and other kinds of Japanese cultural dress.
Yes.
Don't leave the white yet. Is the chick on
Yeah.
the right Toman head?
Yes, she is.
I win. I saw the skirt.
Yes.
Oh! Yes! Yes!
She's got
there you go!
the panel, she's got the chiffon, she's also got flowers on her blouse and her
Yes.
sleeves. So yeah, and when we look at her, we can also identify another one who comes from Toman head in the red.
In the
Because if
red.
you look at the shoulders and how puffy kind of the shoulders are, and then the way the sleeves gather into a broad cuff at the wrist, there's this red sitter, the center one, the older one there.
This one here.
Yes, or older appearing. We don't know how old any Aes Sedai is.
No, of course
But she's
not.
got the flower
The
on her
hair
belt,
looks kind
and
of
the
the same
hair is
too.
similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's got the flower pieces embroidered or possibly printed on her blouse. She's got the similar
Mhm.
kind of vest thing. So yeah, it was super exciting when I could start putting it together. It's like, they come from similar
Yes.
places.
Yes. Sorry, because I want to look at this Shinar and Brown.
Yes.
She just
Yeah.
sorry. She looks very
I kind of
upset.
love her too. Like
I love her
she's
so
mad.
much. She's like
So mad.
done with
And
this
this
bullshit.
belt, like
I
this,
want to
is
get
this a
back to the
belt or
library.
what?
Yeah, it's a belt, and it would look very different if she were standing up.
Yeah.
But I loved how they're like almost these square belts that obscure
Mhm.
the waistline when they're standing, to
Yeah.
kind of create that tubular silhouette that's really common with kimono.
Right.
I
I
honestly
just-
wondered at first if she was Varen, but I don't recognize the actor, so I can't imagine she is. And I don't know where Varen is
Yeah.
actually from. I just was like, oh, Cranky Brown.
I love her so like the rest of the, she's sitting, she's very Kyrian sitting that way. Like her knees are like she wants to get back to work. She's just like
Yes.
this stupid meeting has interrupted. I was in the middle of a note and called me in for this stupid meeting.
Yes.
Wow.
I was taking notes. But yeah, once you start seeing the pieces,
They
you can
fall
kind of
into
see,
place.
here's this sitter, here's this sitter, here's this setter. And it made me so happy.
Yes, of course. Well, we did talk about the yellows. This one is, I don't think there's another sitter who looks like her.
There is.
There
They
is?
hid her. So I
Oh.
originally thought that this yellow sitter might be one of the sea folk,
Right.
because very shiny costume, lots of jewelry. But there is another sitter who wears these sort of Turkish trousers and the
Okay.
belt sash in the green.
In the green.
Yeah, the one who has the really awesome necklace.
Oh, the asymmetrical.
Yeah.
Wait, I think I just saw her.
She's somewhere
Her?
in here. Yes,
Yes.
her. And we don't get very many good pictures of her that are her full body because of where she's sitting. But there's one I think called like Green Sitters or something, something like that. I
Okay.
wasn't naming them very well.
Okay,
This one
but-
is obviously from Shinar.
Yeah.
Hold
She's
on.
got the shoulders.
Sorry. It's just, yes, she totally
super-
is.
And
Oh yeah, the
It's
same
so
belt
exciting.
too.
yeah,
And the
the
same belt,
belt
yeah.
and the sleeves. They just
It's so much, like, once you see it, you see it. It's crazy. Where's the green
right.
sitters, you said?
Yeah, I think it's called Greens. Green Sitter. There
Green
we
sitters,
go. The one,
green,
yeah, walking. So it's really hard to see
ah,
her in the back, but she's got the puffy
Oh yeah, you
trousers,
can see her
the
pants
long
there.
coat,
yeah.
and you can kind of see that there's a sash that's belted at her hip.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that they might be from Murandy, or however that is pronounced in the books, because the element on the map for them was Turkish.
Okay.
How did you notice anyone with like Alana and Moraine
I
strutting in the
know.
foreground?
Like, seriously.
I spent the day on it, to be honest with you. I'm like, I'm committed now. I'm doing this. So they don't have really like the pattern necessarily, although the green sitter, now that I think about it, in the picture where we see her with the necklace, she does have that kind of star pattern going on in the fabric on her top. That they have in that swatchboard. It's subtle,
Ah,
but I think it's there.
okay, yeah, like I'm seeing that, and
Yeah,
it is subtle, but it could
it could be.
very well
It
be,
doesn't
yeah,
mean it is. But once I saw that she had the sash and the pants too, I was like, okay, so these two are together, and she does not look sea folk to me.
no,
She's not shiny. It was the
no,
shininess that made me think that the yellow sitter was sea folk. So now I'm thinking that these two might be from Murandy.
Murandy.
And of course, isn't that where Lugard is
I
located?
think
And they've
so,
got the
yeah.
lace, and she's got lace on her neckline.
Yes.
So that makes me happy too.
Ah, yes. Okay. Wow.
It's the little details.
It is so fun. Like, I don't know why this is so fun, but it's so fun. It's so fun. Okay,
There's the grays. Okay.
yeah.
Oh,
I
the
think
grace, yes.
we haven't looked at this is a very interesting. Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
we looked at the middle gray sister. Where do you want to go?
Um, I don't know. So the one on the right gave me a lot of trouble, and I couldn't actually figure out where she was from. And at first I was thinking, okay, let's put headscarf and headscarf together. But when you
That's what
look
I
at
would
the
have assumed,
shape
yeah.
of the headscarf, it's completely different. Hers covers all of her shoulders. Her neck is very covered up. It's a very different drape, and it looks to me like the drape of the scarf continues behind her shoulder and down her
Mm,
back, almost like a cape type
yeah.
thing. I couldn't figure it out. And this block pattern in her skirt, and it's also echoed on her head covering. There's a couple things on the map, on the swatchboard as well, that kind of look like, well, maybe they could be, but I had a hard time committing
Yeah.
Oh
Like,
to
yeah,
her.
what do you think is over there to the left of
yeah.
Carrion?
So I think that's actually Andor because it's plaid and
Oh
pattern.
yeah. Yeah.
And so I thought,
Okay.
well, maybe she's from Andor, but then I felt like maybe the 90-degree angles in the block pattern was closer to what they had for Gildan.
Yeah.
So she could be from Andor, she could be from Gildan, she could be from somewhere else because we typically associate head coverings when we're thinking of areas of the world with a different part of our world. But that's honestly like really lazy on the part of the costume
Yeah.
designers, calling
Yeah.
myself out here. Like it could be from anywhere. We don't know what the cultural significance of head coverings is in Wheel of Time at this
Mhm.
point in time. And I think the only place that veils were mentioned that I can remember was, isn't it Terabon?
I think it's
Tanchico?
Panchico, yeah.
Because Elaine and
It's Elaine,
Nynaeve.
yeah. Elaine and
Right.
Nynaeve were
Elaine
them.
keeps eating her veil.
Yeah.
Which
So
I
think
didn't
it's-
understand was a joke about how she keeps her nose in
her
the
nose
air
in the
until
air,
Gus
yeah.
told me.
It's fantastic. I
Yeah.
love it. It's one of those oh yes, Jordan, you subtle.
Well, and
Subtle
then they
man.
talk about how sheer they are, but you can see these thick mustaches through there. It's like, well, that's a choice. Okay. I
Yeah.
mean, whatever, you do you, but so I
Yes.
never really got to a conclusion on
Yeah.
her. I kind of lean toward Gildan.
That's what I would lean towards too. However, isn't Logain from Gildan?
Yes.
And I don't remember this on him.
No. And there's nothing like that on the King of Gildan either. And I mean, we do see quite a few characters in Gildan, but they're kind of in the middle of a war and their
Yes.
textiles are a mess. So
What? They
to
don't
be
maintain
determined.
their textiles during an insurgence?
I know, right? Who would have thought?
The
So
gall.
she could be from anywhere. The other gray sitter, though, I believe she is from the same place as Megan and Karenni.
Ah,
Oh, I
look
can
at that
see that.
neckline. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then she's got the net in her little overskirt thing
Yes.
that both Karenni and Megan have. Megan has it in the vest. Karenni had it in the skirt as well, which is most visible when she's dead.
But it's also visible here when she's
Yes,
alive.
it's also slightly visible here. I was trying to get an alive screenshot.
Yes.
The necklines are different, but you can see that Karenni has the split sleeves at the elbow, just
Yeah.
like Megan.
Yes, she does.
And a wider belt, not quite as wide as Leandra, not quite as wide as the others that we've seen in some places. But there's some similarities, and the net is really visible here
Visible here, yeah.
in unfortunately Karenni's funeral
Corpse.
scene.
Yeah.
And her boots are
Yeah.
already off. They took the boots off for the horse. They made sure they didn't put them on. Yeah,
Yeah.
they did a good job with the
Oh, I'm
details.
so sad now.
I
Yeah.
know. And her socks are green. Like,
Yeah.
the Aes Sedai are not going cheap on the color here.
They're not
Oh,
playing
Socks are
around.
green.
She
They're
was
not playing
writing
around.
her notes with a pen with a green quill. Like
Yeah,
they have.
I noticed that too. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think those three are from the same place. I couldn't come to a decision on where that place might be. I have thoughts.
Okay.
Namely, the net makes me think maybe Ilion, because I
Yeah.
want them to be coastal. I want them to have
Yeah.
some fishing going on. And Ilion isn't necessarily fishing, but they do have sailors.
Yeah.
And also a famously in the books incomprehensible accent, which would also fit with Megan.
Yep. Yep.
Less so with Karenni. And we haven't heard the Grey Sitter speak.
That's true.
But-
Yeah, Karenni would be. Yeah, that's true.
But it just made me wonder, okay, is this what they're going for? I don't
But
know.
when you live several hundred years, you can have whatever accent you want.
Well, right. They could pick up any accent at any point in time from
I'm just-
anybody.
Yeah, I'm
Or
just
just
imagining.
pick up a new one because they're bored.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, you live like 300 years. I'm like, I'm gonna spend this next 50 years as an Ilioner. I doobie want to. Like, I don't know.
I
Why
do be
not?
wanting to. Or
Yes.
something.
Yes.
But yeah, that's murderboarding.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm so excited about it. I don't even know why I'm so excited about it, but I'm so excited about it. Like, yes, she's from Tyr, and I know she's from Tyr, and it's not just random pretty costumes in the background. Like,
Yeah.
the level of thought.
They absolutely, like, this is 100% planned, and
Mhm.
each of these actors as well has a very different body shape from the others. Like, none of them
Yeah.
are in the homogeneous supermodel body that we often see in American media. So, or at least very few of them are. So these had to be individually made for each actor. They had to take individual measurements. Like, this was all planned. So I could see these being specific sitters from the
Mhm.
books where they had specific characters in mind. I didn't quite go into that level of detail trying to figure out, okay, are they or aren't they? Like, they could be, but I fully expect that nationalities are going to be one of the things that with some of the background characters are going to be a little more flexible in the show than maybe they were in the books,
Probably, yeah.
just to
I'm
make it
just-
more visually interesting. Oh, the wide doublet yellow.
Yes.
So I think she's from the same place as the blue sitter with the headscarf, because they have the same blouse thing going on, the same neck.
Yeah.
They've got the wide doublet, but obviously they aren't like just skirt or just pants, because this one's in a skirt. Our blue sitter
Mhm.
was in pants. She's got more jewelry going on than our blue sitter did, and her hair is uncovered. So
Yeah.
that's part of why I'm like, okay, head coverings, we don't know what they mean in Wheel of Time. It's
Yeah.
obviously not distinctive to the culture, or else this is just like the Aes Sedai special jacket and blouse.
Could be. Maybe it's, yeah. Then we already knew that there's a Dark Friends R Us. Maybe there's an Aes Sedai RS.
Yeah.
This is the show your tits store.
Right. And the
You know.
pattern on her skirt reminded me of the gray sitter who wears the
Yep.
headscarf. But I think this is one of the Aes Sedai block patterns that they had on the Aes Sedai board of like swatches, and we see those patterns show up several times. Like there's a pattern that one of the sitters has in their clothing that is also the screen print used on Steppen's morning costume in the show.
Oh.
You can see how they've got the same print for several different ajas across the
Yeah.
board. So they've got the plaid in the top left corner, then they've got this sort of wavy pattern, then there's like a Greek key pattern that they use as well. So who knows?
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, like this is them just testing out all the patterns, I guess, on different colors
Yeah,
to see. Oh,
to
that's
see
so
what
cool.
makes the best look. And like with the whites, for example, you have to layer in white and cream and silver and
Hmm.
gold and just different things to make something that looks white
Yeah.
but still has layering and depth so that it's not just bleh on camera,
Yeah.
to use a highly
It,
technical term.
I just realized I would never, I mean, I know I'm a brown without any questions, but I would never be able to be a white. I'm too messy.
Oh,
Like,
me too.
it's just, it'd be stains
The
constantly.
whites have to have, like, I read New Spring recently and learning that the blues have, their own special weaves for
Mm,
blue business. I don't know what the whites have, but I know that they have all sorts of stain removal and
yeah.
stain repellent and
That's,
like how to keep your salad on your fork weave.
yep. Yep. I'm pretty sure the browns figured out. Brown is a very good color for like just, nobody notices stains on brown. It's fine. It's fine.
This is the true source of the white cloak Aes Sedai hate. The whites won't share their magic stain removal.
Yes. Initially, they were working together to fight Dark Friends, and then this is where the rift began.
It was all over when the Aes Sedai invented color catcher sheets.
Oh no! Oh no! Okay. While we're murderboarding, I know this is not exactly murderboarding, but you sent me something really cool about this sleeve.
Oh.
Okay, so in our initial video series, you had said that you thought this was a phoenix, and I agreed. And then you said, well, I'll let you talk.
So I decided to just grab a screenshot and sketch on top of it on my tablet to see if I could like highlight the phoenixes or if I was just seeing things. And I think it's a little easier to see in this sketch the two phoenixes with their heads toward each other in flight on Swan's sleeve. So
Yeah.
I'm convinced she's got this phoenix imagery going on, but I know I've seen some people who saw that I was talking about the phoenixes being like, yes, this means that we know what happens to Swan. And I don't want to promise that and have somebody be upset. So it could just be like the phoenix is the parallel of the dragon. And so they're like the phoenix and the dragon are in balance with each other in certain mythologies. Or it could totally be Swan rises from the ashes, which is what I really want because I want Swan and Moraine and Pufferfish forever.
Well, she does, like, even if I don't want her to die at the end of the books, whatever.
Yeah.
But even if she does rise from, like, she gets stilled and then comes back. Like, so she does rise from the ashes in the books. The story is told.
And I can't see them getting rid of that. I mean, that's such a... It robs some of the characters of huge moments if you take that out. So I don't see them getting rid of that, but
not even I can't imagine because it's such...
I just am so scared to say it means X and then have it not mean X.
That's theorizing is the fun part. If you watch some of my videos, some of my predictions about the show, I think I maybe got one right. The rest of them were all wrong. Like,
so I have
horrible.
another one that I can send you on from these photos. If you open these pictures of Leandrin.
Oh, these ones here? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Leandrin wears a black earring into the hall. And the only other person we have seen wearing a single black earring was Dana the Dark Friend.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, if she's not a dark friend, I will be quite shocked. But yeah, that is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
She also, in the very first episode, in the cold open, there's a moment where she like makes a fist, and she has a red stone in her Aes Sedai ring. When she makes the fist, just because of the lighting, it kind of turns black.
ooh, that's so good.
There's a couple of things you had in here that I didn't know why, so I'm just gonna ask you, why is
Totally
Logain
fair.
here?
I think I was trying to look at whether or not he had anything special from Gildan to see if I could identify that one
Ah.
sitter. But I also took this screenshot because this one you can see the symbol in his belt. It looks to me a little bit like the Aes Sedai in the tapestry in the opening credits.
Yes.
I don't think that's I mean, I don't know. That may not be what it is, but it made me wonder, oh, they're trying to tell us something about Logain. And then I read the book, so I'm like, I'm not sure what they're trying to tell us about Logain. And but he's got the same symbol in his signet ring, which is what's visible in the other screenshot that I have him. It's really hard to see, but you
Oh,
can
yeah, but it
kind of
totally is
see
there.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
and
totally
I,
is
I
there.
also love that, we have this gold signet ring because there's a gold signet ring in the books and I want to see it on the show.
Yes. Okay.
Give me the good stuff, show.
Yes. Sorry. He's I
Oh,
like.
and this one is Maureen's gold ear.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to look at it. Somebody on Discord had asked me, is she wearing Kareni's gold earring? Because Kareni had the gold shell on her ear. I think Kareni's is like an actual gold piece that she wears on her ear, and with Moraine's, I can see fingerprints in it. I think it's the other ear. I don't know if I got a good screenshot of
Hold
Kareni
on.
wearing it or not.
Yeah. I was just checking, but
Yeah.
okay.
So I wanted to see, is it the same thing? And it looks to me like Moraine is wearing gold leaf on her ear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that does look like I can't imagine like if you couldn't take this off of somebody's ear and put it on somebody else's ear.
No.
Right. Kareni's looks more solid when I see
Mm-hmm.
it in the show. I'm so sorry I don't have a screenshot of
I mean,
it,
this
but
is tinfoil ear. Well, I mean,
yeah.
gold, but yeah, that's just,
Well, and
that's
talk about a
not.
display of ostentatious wealth.
Yeah, right. Disposable
Mm-hmm.
gold.
Yeah. Like this to me is one of those things that's just like I said it so many times, but it's just if you started us again with fashion, somebody might think of something like this. Like
Yeah.
put gold leaf on the outer shell of your ear. Like that's we don't do that. Nobody does this. Nobody does this.
Cosplayers will.
Cosplayers will. Yeah, like it's really cool. I
It
also
looks
imagine
so
it's
cool.
kind of itchy.
I
But
would think so. Yeah, that's why I don't act. I don't like ever being uncomfortable.
these are the reasons that I don't act. Yes. Okay.
Well, among others.
You
So,
have her called
this one.
Eiffel Red?
Yes, Eiffel Red, because her earrings look like the Eiffel Tower.
Ah, yeah, they do.
So I kind of put her with the other blousey Aes Sedai, and I'm just not sure if that's accurate or not. Like the blousey ones really gave me a lot of
Trouble, yeah.
uncertainty, and but she has the same like weird square blocky pattern in her skirt. It's very faint. I
Ah,
can
yes, yeah, I can
just
see it
see it
there.
in a
Yeah,
couple spots.
yeah.
So I feel comfortable saying these three are from the same place, these four, but I don't feel comfortable saying, and that place is.
Right, right.
I think that they were just kind of choosing some representative cultures for the world and showing that they were present in the sitters and maybe
Hmm.
not necessarily specifically trying to cover the entirety of the world of the Wheel of Time. I could see all of those ones with the blocky pattern being from Andor,
Mm,
because Andor is huge
yeah, it
and it's got a lot of political capital, and they're, trying to court the crowned heads of Andor at various points
yes.
in the book. So it could totally be Andor
Hmm.
or Candor, since apparently that's now a part of Andor. Uh,
But yeah, Andor is also like where Tar Valon is. It's, they send their daughter heirs to Tar Valon. Like it's yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So one of the things I'm going to be watching for very closely in like season 2, season 3, whenever they show up, is what does Elida wear? Because that's going to tell us more about where are these sitters from. What does Varen wear? What does, pick an Aes Sedai whose location of origin we actually know. Alana gave me a lot of confusion because she wears that same sort of blouse and jacket combination, but then that's nothing like what she wears in the hall of the tower when she
Right.
has her spectacular dress.
I mean, yeah. It's a
We do
spectacular dress.
know where Alana is from, and the bells
Yeah.
are like, Arafel.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, she's a little bit of a clothes horse. She's got lots of
She
different.
is.
Her
Well,
only,
honestly, if I could dress her, I'd put her in everything I could too.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
I really am looking forward to seeing what they do. Will we see the same sitters? Will we see the same costumes, but not necessarily the same people in them? It's going to be really fascinating to see what they do.
All right, well, I hope you enjoyed that. That was so fun. I don't know if you could see, but in the middle of it, like Bree and I started being able to do it ourselves, and it was so exciting. Like I felt like I'd unlocked a secret code or something. It's so cool, and I've said it a million times, but it just going through all the costumes in this way, it's changed the way that I watch television and movies, and I love that I'm able to pick up more details now. It's literally opened my eyes to paying attention to things that I normally ignore. And so I've thoroughly enjoyed this, and I hope you have too. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on this. Did you pick up anything that we missed? Were there any there connections that you made that we didn't make? And do you think we're right about the shiny pants and Murandy? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like my content and you want to support me, I do have a Patreon. It is linked in the description below. I say it every time. I am so grateful to my patrons. Thank you so much for your support. I literally couldn't do this without you. So thank you so very much. And with that, I am going to end this here. So please like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
sorry, I'm having a real bisexual moment over here.
Why would that be apologized for? That's
I
perfect.
mean,
They're all so pretty.